Hello Internet, this is E. Schrodinger's cat here with another episode of Builder's Dreams. Last episode we did this house here, sort of, type thing. I still haven't seen comments from either of the videos from this series because I'm still trying to work out editing and stuff. I'm kind of gotten myself in a place of do I release it poorly edited or do I wait and try and figure out how to edit it better, and I figured it's better to wait. So in the meantime, I've done more work here. I've started to fill out these waterfalls. Not quite gotten all these details yet. I can't remember if this waterfall has been done since the last video. I don't know, but it's done now. And this is, I like the other one better. It's a little too flat. So in these waterfalls, which aren't scaled out yet and don't have any foam, I've tried to add more ripples in the waterfall, because you'll notice this one kind of looks very not curved, but like, I don't exactly know how to, it looks very geometric in this way. It's very, like, there's not a lot of breaking up the flow of it as the way that water does. There's some up here, but down here I've tried to add a little more, like, you can tell that there's more motion in it. You got it jutting out this way, and I got these little things here coming out. So I've got this worked out. I'm gonna fill that and continue filling that in off camera. I have continued expanding the terraforming, and I have done quite a lot of it. You notice here that everything changes once you go past this line. I had the idea for this place that it would be a merging of 4 different kinds of biomes. So instead of just having one style going throughout the whole thing, which I felt myself getting tired already, and if I'm getting tired now, I'm gonna need to vary it up somehow. So I started working out these other areas of different styles. This is going to be like a more magical kind of place. This over here is going to be like a deserty, not necessarily desert, but like dry, kind of Fallout New Vegas style with more desert architecture in it. But you can see this is the sort of pattern that I've worked out here. Not anywhere near completion, but yeah, you know. And then up here we have the what's going to be like a ice kingdom, obviously. So I don't think there's anything else that I did. This took a long time. What I'm going to do in this episode is I want to put something up in the sky. I want to have this big sun in the center of the sky here, and around that sun, I want to have like plumes of clouds and smoke coming up to sort of bathe to sort of mask the whole area in darkness. Because one of the things that you'll notice with Chisel and Bits is I don't have any night vision on right now, but if I come under here, there's no differentiation of light levels because Chisel and Bit blocks do not block any light. They are translucent and they don't block any light, so it makes lighting difficult during the day. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and artificially replicate darkness and then light up the landscape cosmetically to give it way more atmosphere. So if I come all the way up here, and this is like the center-ish kind of this black bit that's blending the 4 biomes into each other, and I think I'm going to I have these Glowcrete blocks, is one of the mods that's in the pack. For each of the individual biomes, I have the white, the blue, the green, and the orange. Didn't want to do brown because that looks a little too poopy, but what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, to try and create this curve. It's there to replicate a hurricane kind of like a cyclone structure. And I'm gonna try and work this around for the sun. I haven't entirely planned much of this out, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hope that it's gonna look good. I've never actually done anything like this before, so hopefully, let's see, got the 4, got the 4, got the 3, got the 3, another 3, and 2s. I'm going to do this with each of the colors, and I'm going to try and spiral it around some more and see how it comes up. Word of advice: if you are going to be making curves like these that are curved on 2 planes, see it's curved this way and it's curved that way as it's trying to define the bottom of the sun, do 1 plane at a time. So the first thing I did was I defined it on the horizontal plane, and now I'm coming through, and I'm rising it up bit by bit. At this, in this particular case, I'm doing it wherever the curve changes its orientation in the horizontal plane, I am changing it in the vertical plane. So it goes 1 to 7, and then goes over, but it also goes up, and then it goes 6 over, and then 1 up. And this has the effect of making it curved in both directions, because the number of blocks you're going before you go up is changing, and the number of blocks you are going in the horizontal direction before you're changing along your other axis is changing as well. So you want to just sort of handle those rates of change separately, so your brain actually has the ability to keep track of them instead of trying to do it all at the same time, because that'll just waste your time and lead to mistakes. What am I doing? Good Lord. I think I need to do some rethinking. So I figured it out. Sort of. I took the curves that were originally glowcrete, and I switched it out for flat colored blocks because it looks a lot better. Honestly, if we make it up a bazillion blocks we have to go to see the top of this thing, we can see that the glowcrete is super busy. Like, I filled in these sort of wing-like things, and they're not going to be visible because I didn't like how it looked. I hated how busy this texture was, and I decided I want something more like a dome. Now, would this look better if I had used plots to plot out a dome? Yes, it would have. Would it have been easier? Yes. But did I? No. Because sometimes you don't know what you're doing until you're halfway through, and that's just the case often for me. Is I didn't know I was making a dome until I was halfway through making a dome. So that just happens. So as a result, it looks kind of squarish, I know, and it's, some of the curves are not quite right, a little lumpy, but I think it works, and I know it looks a little bit strange, but I think the next step here is to add plumes of clouds around it, and hopefully that can disguise the kind of squariness of it, as well as make it look like a sun instead of a floating rainbow disk in the sky. So I'm going to start doing that. So we have a few clouds up ahead. Got a couple layers of clouds, so we have that parallaxis effect. Those clouds are moving. As you move across, they appear to be moving across the sky over the sun, and that helps with a lot of the sort of bulky, round obtrusiveness that the sun had to it when it was just itself all alone, and even when it was just that top layer of clouds. But adding these second, if I come up here, you can see that it's 2 different vertical levels. It does help a lot with it being so. It makes it look more like a sky and less like a giant weird thing. And if I put on night vision, you can see how these clouds are constructed a little bit. I'm gonna add more bulk to them, more volume, so that it's not just a bunch of flat, thin little planes in the sky. So that you can see their shape. They look fluffier from the ground. Right now, it's very difficult and time-consuming to do all of this because we don't have world edit. Because this is a multiplayer server, and world edit would be poor Scalda would have an aneurysm. So from all the times that we crashed the server, so. We do have Builder Swans, we have Vein Miner, but building clouds for such a large scale is difficult, and it's going to take me some time to fill out all these shapes, and that's probably something that I'm going to be working on off camera mostly, because it's going to be another terraforming style thing where it's not going to be super entertaining to watch or even to get updates on. So I'll be like, you know, in every episode I'll be like, okay, here's the state of this, just like I am with the terraforming. Right now, since we still have, I think I only have like 8 minutes of footage recorded right now, what I think I'm going to work on is this area down here, because if I set the time to day, there we go, you can see the one downside of the clouds is that it looks kind of strange in daylight, how just how dark this place is in comparison to the kind of light, jovial kind of architecture that we have. So I think what I'm going to try and do is add things along the landscape that light it up. And one way that I think would be good to do is to add some alien-style plants that glow in the night, like ocean floor plants that have those glowing bulbs. So I have these flat colored blocks here, and so I'm going to start to, oh boy, this is difficult. Okay, for the sake of doing this, I'm going to have to turn on night vision while I'm doing it, just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to try to make a few plants that I'm hoping will provide some illumination. And these are glowing flat colored blocks, so these will, and you can see the different tonalities of the night vision kind of changing as I add more blocks. And so here's the stem, and this is the not evil, but like black, dark, colorless area of the landscape. So I'm using this dark red color, and the other parts of the terrain I will use more color appropriate colors. That probably made little sense, but basically the different plants that I'm going to do is going to change per biome. But for this particular one, I'm going for a very alien style plant, and hopefully there'll be enough light, so yeah, you can start to see how it really starts to light up the field. And this might honestly be a little too much light. Now that I'm just looking at it here, that might be a little too much light, because I want them to be kind of subtle. So maybe if I come through here and I replace the stem with, because the stem is providing, yeah, there we go. I don't know if I'm gonna stay on this coal block for good, but that definitely gets the point across. Let's try and remove this. Yeah, gonna need a little more than that, definitely. But I think I can do that. Nope. I think I can come in here and add these details, and as I progressively come out, So you can add this sort of little plumes of little pollen, or not pollen, but like, you know, those fluff flowers that are all fluffy, and when the wind blows, they blow their fluff all over the fluff grounds. But yeah, something like that. And it doesn't need to be that dark. It just needs to be not complete blackness. And I think things like that are going to do us some good. And we can even come and have these green bits spiraling down the spine, or even dripping like this. I'm not entirely decided on what kind of architecture, or if I'm gonna have architecture at all. See, it just boosted up a light level as I added more of these in this black part. I'm not sure if I'm going to try and do a mixture of all the four architecture designs that I don't have yet, but I think I might just have it be very natural, this sort of dark forest kind of feeling, and leave that more open, and maybe come in through here and make this so that it's not so, like when I started putting it down, I was putting it down with the 8th block sized cube, and so now maybe I can come through here and well, up another light level. There we go. I gotta make sure not to add too much, or it's gonna look weird when they're scattered about. So I think that looks pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is add some more of these details around all around the place, and see if I can make it look not so strange. Alright, it has been a few days since the last clip, and I have been busy. I took this design of plant and I brought it down in the form of vines. It's supposed to look like these are the lights, but these are actually the real light's coming from this. I have this it says white glow key, but it's obviously black because it lies. And this covers this area and adds this nice glow that I really like. And this angle, which I think is going to be the thumbnail, I like it a lot. It looks like the sun, moon, star thing is glowing down on top of the hills, even though it's the it's lighting it up. Also, I've done this giant thing, and I was gonna keep going, but I figured, you know, I told you guys I would do this and then come back, and then I built this giant thing. It's like 2 days later, and my first 2 episodes have gone up, and I was doing this in the meantime. I finally got Adobe Premiere worked out. Hello, server lag. I got this design here. It honestly, the colors kind of remind me of the cyan terracotta, glazed terracotta from Vanilla, and but just on a bigger scale. I got these lights got these lights down here, added all this detail around here, got these posts. I also was working on these waterfalls, got them all filled out. They're not, I know it's dark. They're not 100% done, but they are starting to get detailed out. I've started the 16th block down here, and the 8th, they're worked all the way up with the 8th blocks. I finished all the snow that is on the top of this mountain, all the snow, and in addition, all of the concrete that is up to this point here. So that took a long ass time. That's what I did, and this is starting to make up for the fact that it's super dark down here. You're starting to really get the effect of glowing things in a dark landscape covered by clouds, and I think that is going to do it for today. Let me know if you... I think I'm very happy with how this came out, even though there's got this wide area of flatness. I think that I got enough straps and bits and bobs around here to make it look good. The plan is to add some kind of larger, not really a castle, but kind of larger palace-like building up here in this very, as someone in the comments described, Orion in the comments described, modern age Dr. Seuss-like style, which I think was very apt. So, I am going to say, good day to you, Internet. I will come back next time and work on this giant thing. Good day.